Hello and welcome to The Telescope. Every week we bring you a fresh insight from the biggest car market in the world. We're at the 2023 Shanghai Autoshow, and how can I skip the NIO stand? Obviously I cannot, because I know this place like the back of my hands. I've done several motor shows with this layout, and this is not your ordinary motor show stand. It's effectively a NIO house. I'm going to take you on a tour. And this is the most common part of any motor show stand. It's where they display all of the production cars. And you can see here the full NIO lineup today. Behind us is the NIO EC6, that is the ET7 for 2023 new model year. In the distance, the bright yellow one is the ET5, and then we also have a brand new ES8, but that's not open to the public's interior. So this is probably the most ordinary part of this stand. From the most common area to arguably the most special, because behind me is a real battery swap station, generation 3 as well. It's continuously swapping the battery on this ET5. And the screen above the battery swap station is live streaming the whole swap in a digital way. So it's the digital reconstruction of this station. It is mirroring every step of the actual station's movement. Besides the battery swap station, you have NIO's complete lineup of superchargers and home chargers, and this screen, which displays the national network of all of the fast chargers, slow chargers, battery swap station, the nationwide network. And this number is the live battery swap counts. Currently, it's 207,027,166 times, and it's updating every single second. They are swapping from a nationwide network around 50 to 60,000 times every day. So if you check back to our ET5 video, at that time it was 35,000 swaps every day. Now it's 50 to 60,000 swaps. So the battery swap in China is very, very well received. Behind me is the forum area, and in there is the star of the NIO stand. It's the new ES6, and this is also the area where William Li held the press conference. We're very fortunate to have a chance to speak to the Vice President of Design at NIO, Kris Tomasson. You've seen the design video on the EC7. What would you say if you're shooting a design video for the ES6?
So the ES6 is our second generation ES6. We obviously took inspiration from the first one, but we wanted to improve it. So we took a lot of the same basic elements, the same basic styling cues, but we further refined it with our design DNA, which is pure human, progressive, and sophisticated. The car really is our everyday hero. Really, it's functional, but sporty. It's flexible for everyday lifestyle. It's a car that meets your everyday needs, and it's really a car about being together too, for the family and friends.
Can you give us a design story that's very typical NIO, like the kind of design stories that can only happen in NIO? You must have a lot of them. I've heard many internally, but can you give us one that's, you think that's, when you heard that story, that can only happen at NIO Design?
Yeah, I think it goes back again to what I just said about creating vision and action. So one of the areas is, for instance, the ET5. That car was our new small sedan. You know, it was the first new product for us in this segment, and we created a very strong vision for that. We actually created a full-size mock-up, and we presented that to William at the first time. And this was something, again, was love at first sight for him. So when he saw it, he knew he had the right vision, and we just executed. So this is very typical at NIO. Not a lot of time thinking, but really about doing, finding the right answer and going for it.
Can you describe your Shanghai Auto Show experience for you? Is it good for you as a designer to see the cars, see the production cars, and meet the people you've worked remotely over the years, and also see William, see the Shanghai HQ? Can you describe your this trip as a whole?
Yeah, no, it's been really good to come back, obviously, after all these years, and to reconnect. We've obviously stayed in touch over the years, but to be in person, to be able to have face-to-face contact helps a lot. And so also to see the changes in the China market here. Obviously to see our cars on the road for me has just been great. To see all of our work and effort being shown and appreciated by our users. But also for the Shanghai show, to see also how many new products there are and how much our products have made a big impact on that.
As your background, you must know just about more than half of the German automakers, the board members are here in Shanghai, and they're visiting NIO, they're benchmarking NIO, they're watching at your design. Do you feel like this is a pivotal point in time where brands like NIO are sort of leading the way in this kind of smart electric vehicle design?
Yes, I mean, definitely. I mean, as you know, we started as a startup in the electric field. And so for us, we were the pioneers, really. We were the first to sort of make it. And I think the fruits of our efforts are now being shown. Everybody's looking at us. I've been getting a lot of great comments from a lot of my peers and colleagues. So I think it's shown, and I think we're making an impact. Yeah.
And this is an area called NIO Innovation, where NIO shows off all of its main R&D capabilities. Here on the stand, we have all of the NIO electric drive system. This is the rear motor on the ET5, the 210 kilowatts permanent magnet motor. This is the front motor on the ET5, the 100 kilowatt hour induction motor. And this is the 300 kilowatt hour rear motor on the ET7. So all of these motors designed R&D in-house. I mentioned in the long distance experience video that the LiDAR sees the world in a very different way. Well, this is how it sees the world at the moment. This is the EC7 behind us, and this is all of the objects it sees. And the crucial information is it's three-dimensional. The primary information LiDAR provides is the distance. So if they can overlay this on top of the camera's two-dimensional image, then you can have a comprehensive view of the world around us. This is kind of the racing heritage section where 3 NIO EP9s, the record-breaking electric supercar, gets displayed. And here are some of the most impressive lap records it produced. I must emphasize this Paul Ricard 1 minute 52.7 seconds lap record is so much more impressive than the Nürburgring lap times. I mean, everyone knows about Nürburgring, but this lap is around 6 seconds faster than the GT3 racing cars on this track. So the EP9 really comes into its own in the normal length racetrack. On the Nürburgring, really is kind of too long for the EP9, where it kind of gets into this thermal protection mode. And of course, this stand has a second floor. To access that, you either need to be a NIO owner, or like me, you have one of these. So come up with me. We're into the user-exclusive area of the NIO stand on the second floor, and behind me is the NIO Cafe. You can buy coffee, you can buy drinks using NIO credits, so you don't really need to spend money. All of the credits are accumulated by using different NIO services over time. Every NIO house has a Joy-Cam, so does this. This is where you can drop off your kids and enjoy the motor show by yourself. Today is press day, so journalists only. On public reception day, this is going to be packed. I mean, where else can you find a motor show stand that you can trust the employees to drop your kids here for several hours? And this is the live studio of the NIO Radio. I'm very fortunate to be invited back to do an interview on 4 of NIO Europe's national managers to reflect on what they've been doing and also on the Shanghai Auto Show experience as a whole. Can you briefly talk to us your NIO experience so far? How have you adapted to this?
First of all, many thanks for having me here. It's a really an honor to be here. And also the welcome from our NIO friends and the NIO users, it's above expectations, so it's overwhelming. It's fantastic. Yes, you're right. We have been in operation since 1.5 years in Norway, and of course everybody here on the radio station is welcome, and all the users in China welcome to visit us in Oslo. I would highly appreciate if you would stop by our NIO house, which is a spectacular place, by the way, the NIO house in Oslo. And you're totally right. We have the full NIO scope in Norway. We have, of course, a power swap station rolling out. More and more will come. And the most important thing is the user community, which is exceptional on the NIO. And we are also working every day. And I'm learning also every day how we do it in China. And we try to get it also done in Norway.
A similar question I asked Marius before. Now with international travel very much a possibility, I mean, you are here. It means our users can also get to your place. When they show up in your NIO house, if they are a NIO ES8 Founders Edition, ET7 Premier Edition owner, can they get in? Can they get a special drink? How is that? How will they be welcomed?
Yes. So we just started, right? So the user base is relatively small so far. So basically the whole NIO house is open to everyone. So we don't have exclusive areas yet, because that will come once the user base will grow. But definitely everyone is welcome to visit our house. So definitely also the Chinese users. And I was just thinking about this, we should do something. So I invite everyone here to come and they get just the Dutch courage for free. They can have our new house, drink for free.
You hear that? You hear every audience 每位听众朋友们，你们都听到了这个荷兰的国总说，你们去荷兰的牛屋是这个可以拿到一杯免费的特饮，是这样吧？我们这是 NIO Radio 为你们争取来的权益。
We already have Chinese users that have been visiting us already. So
Oh, really?
Yes, we
Can you
have.
describe to us when did that happen?
We had already a few weeks back where we had NIO users. One of the users had an ET7, so quite recently got a car, and it was on a business trip to Gothenburg on the west coast. And what we do is that we welcome them in, just as any of our users. And we now have our own signature drinks in both our new spaces.
Yeah, tell us about your drinks. Is it a special flavor of your local region?
Yes. So we have two ones, of course, one for each space, and those are really a local flavor. Now I dropped the name of the specific flavor there, but it's local ones for those areas, and they're very sweet and very nice.
Can you describe to us since like October last year up until now, how have your progress been like? Do you want to do more? Do you want to further ramp up your because we don't hear from you often enough, and you're here, so we want to know what it's been like.
Yeah, I think in October last year we launched the brand, and then since then a lot happened. I think that the most important, or one of the key milestones, was that we won the Golden Steering Wheel. It's a famous award from an automotive magazine, Auto Bild and Bild am Sonntag, which is a big Sunday newspaper. And this was the first, let's say, touch point when people realized there's somebody new. There's NIO, and they obviously have great products. Then we continued by opening the NIO house in Berlin. We recently opened the NIO house in Frankfurt. We will be very soon in June open the NIO house in Düsseldorf. And for the end of the year, we also planning to open a NIO house in Hamburg. So which means we will have minimum 4 NIO house touch points in Germany. For the moment, there are only 2 power shop stations, but we're heavily working on the next ones, and we have a lot of approvals already to do power swap stations. And as you said, our first intention is to build them along the motorways, to make sure that people can connect from one city to the other and have only a 5-minute stop, similar like a stop when you fill up your fuel, diesel or petrol, and not staying at a supercharger, charging for, 20 minutes or so.
And that is a tour of the NIO Stand 2023 Shanghai Auto Show. To me, this felt like coming back home. So many familiar faces, and it's definitely nice that after 6 months leaving the company, they still give me a staff pass. How sweet. That is all from the Telescope today. If you enjoyed this video, keep watching, keep subscribing. More videos coming along very soon.